Right, guys. Well, welcome back to our second little series with the Q&As. Just about to ask one from Tara Senior last week, or last session, should I say? And then we got busy. We had to crack on, unfortunately. So Tara asked, how do you juggle downtime with a business being so full on? We'll get back to you on that one.
Where's this downtime?
We have, maybe we'll carry on with that one and you can carry on in a minute. So what we've had to do is make a real conscious effort this last year or so, because it was all consuming. It has been all consuming for many years. We were on the treadmill for many, many years. And I think we all share the same work ethic. And it was pretty full on for years and years and years. And then it became even more full on when we started all this. But we did get to a stage, probably revolving around me turning the big 50, when I thought, hang on a minute, we're going to have to have an LP to get a bit older, and we're going to have a bit more time to ourselves. So we've had to make some fairly big decisions, haven't we, to enable us to have a bit of time off. And Charlie's obviously competing in the motorsport world, and my Jack is. And I think I'll speak again for both of us, and I say we get the enjoyment with that. So we get the enjoyment. I can certainly say that, and I'll shoot forward.
Yeah,
We've
definitely
both been away this last weekend. Paul in Glasgow, rallying, myself up in the borders of Scotland rallying, and the enjoyment I get is seeing the lads having a really good weekend. So we have to force ourselves, if the truth be known, and probably answered most of that for you.
Well, you did, yeah. You know, we turned up there 11 o'clock Friday night, and I got home at midnight Sunday night. So yeah.
Not quite
it's not
smooth.
It's not.
It's like grab it when you can.
It is really. But to answer your question, that is our bit of downtime, really, more than anything, playing about with the kids in rally cars, really. Yeah, where we can.
Yeah, I think I'm pleased you do it. I think it's very easy to fall into the trap that I did many, many years ago. And when you enjoy what you're doing so much that it doesn't become work, it becomes more of a pleasure. So you just keep doing it, and you do more and more of it. You know, if you're enjoying what you're doing, then you do. You just keep on repetitive, and that, yeah, that's the only excuse I can offer, really. I mean, I consciously throttled back when Paul and his sister came along, because I worked many, many hours, I still do, I suppose, and I missed David to a great extent growing up. Fortunately, I had grandparents who were brilliant, pair of them, and they sort of helped bring him up, really, while I was too busy working.
Dragged him up.
Yeah, one set in particular he lived with most of the time, really, and so I've missed that, and I was determined not to miss the next two grow up. So I actually made a conscious effort to not work 7 days a week. Brought it down to 6 days a week, and then had some time on that seventh day to spend some time with them, up the forest with the dogs and coast and all that sort of thing, and it was lovely, really. But when they get older and they get a little bit more sort of independent on their own and don't want to be with their parents anymore, it's very easy to slip back into what you know and what you enjoy and what you maybe convince yourself is your hobby as well. And I think a lot of the time you do convince yourself that, but you've got to be a little bit careful. And I realise now at my age, we get to a certain age in life, as David touched on, the big 50, and I certainly like the big 70. And then you realise that it's not all about work and business, really. And then when you got guys like these coming through that are more than capable of taking the job forward, there's not a lot of point in me doing so many hours as I used to. So I think that's the answer to that, really, is throttle back when you're ready. I don't think you can throttle back before you're ready, but once you decide you're ready, then I think throttle back. And I've got a good one here. I've got a good one here. Michael Wears says, who's the best driver in the team? Well, that's a foregone conclusion, but you answer however you feel.
Does it mean actual physically driving?
Well, he's just said who is the best driver in the team. So I think it might be the rally side of things.
I think it will be. I think Paul touched on it when we did the Malta rally. We videoed that, and I'm exactly where he is. And you got out of a car and said, "I'm too old and too fat for this." That's about it. So, and I'm too old and too fat, and your responses all slow down. I think the answer to that question is the lads, isn't it? It's I think they're both proving themselves.
Yeah, agreed.
Charlie and Jack, they're both coming on leaps and bounds.
They're both very capable boys, aren't they?
Just what was the gentleman's Christian name? Sorry,
Michael.
Michael. Yeah.
Just watch his space. I think they'll hopefully prove who's the best.
Yeah, we'll leave that to them to work that out.
Demonstrate, yeah, who's better, yeah, but...
Yeah, we're not going down that road.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I being granddad, I see it from the outsider looking in, really, because I don't get involved with the motorsport, and I'd like to, and I will do, maybe one day. But I see them both, on a par, really, because Jack's got the edge on age, of course. He's that bit older and he's that bit more experienced and such like. Charlie's obviously quite a bit younger, and is going to be a bit cautious. He's learning, and once he gets on the road and gets 2 or 3 years driving experience, even on the road behind him, and that it'd be different, I think. But I think they're both brilliant in their own way. In as much as that Charlie's been sort of chucked in at the deep end, really, with in a very competitive section of the sport. None more than Jack, in actual fact. I mean, Jack's been thrown in amongst the sort of semi-professional guys, and done a brilliant job. And I saw a little clip of him last night, where he was racing at the weekend, and I mean, it clearly is a brilliant driver. There's no doubt about it. He's total control of the car from what I can see. So if the pair of them keep on the way they are, being quick, competitive, sensible,
Clean.
Careful, and finish. That's the answer. I keep impressing upon Charlie. We email each other a little bit, and I just say, just make sure you finish. Be quick, but finish. And you're never going to win anything unless you finish. And so I think they're both going to be brilliant drivers, as they are now.
I can't wait to get them on the same event. When Charlie comes of age, so we can actually do some of the events that Jack does and so on. Then yeah, and have a bit more. They will. Brilliant. Anyway, Angela Heaps, she wants to know how many family members work at Mathewsons. Do you know off the top of your head?
3.
7.
Is it?
I think 7.
7, is it 7?
7 of us. Yeah, 7 of us, Angela. Yeah.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. So 7, and Charlie would be number 8.
Part time.
When he comes on board, hopefully, yeah.
If.
Yeah, when. No, we're not discussing the if, we're discussing the when.
So 7 at the moment, 8, 1 pending.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, you got a question, Ez?
I have. I've got Lynn Brocklehurst. I'd love to know how and when you acquired the Bond mini car at the side of your building. My dad's first car was this in yellow, and it always brings back so many memories when I see it on the show. Thank you from Lynn, an avid fan. Well, thank you very much, Lynn. Well done.
Courtesy car.
Hire car.
Courtesy car. Yeah.
When did you acquire it? It's
Well,
your baby, that one, really.
Good question, that, Lynn. Yeah, really. I'm pleased you had one, because so did I when I was 16. I passed my test on one. There can't be many people. I don't think there's many people who pass their test on a Bond. I think most people pass their test on a 250 motorbike and then went on to a Bond, as you could in them days. You can't now, or you couldn't actually when I took it. But acquired that, that came in from the only one owner from you, and really genuine little thing. It wouldn't run. There's something wrong with the engine, and well,
It is now.
I know where it is, but the engine's not quite in the right place. But it is nice and dry in a shed. It's a shame, really. We've got a number of projects like that you start with fantastic intentions, and then you get really, really busy, and you just put it on the back burner, and it's fatal. The second you put it on the back burner, that's it. You might as well say it's never going to be finished. We've learned, I think, well, we're on the way to learning that if you do start something like
You
that,
start a project, see it through.
you've got
Before
to.
you start another.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no matter how busy you are,
Absolutely.
you've got to do it. And so it's a shame. So it's a real genuine thing. So it's there, sitting there, waiting for you to come and buy it. So there you are, a nice little project
It's
for
a
you.
little landmark, we can't sell that.
I know,
No,
I
that's
know.
right. Yeah, and on that note, that's it for this week.
Is that it for this week?
That's it for this week, guys.
Well
Thank
done,
you ever
guys.
so for your questions.
We'll catch you next time.
There'll be a link on the bottom
For
to
more
submit
Q&A.
more questions.
Yeah.
We're
We're going to have a job
for
keeping
us.
up with these
Well, I
questions.
think we might.
Or we're going to have to give them shorter answers.
Yeah, that might be the trick. Yeah. Thanks very much, guys.
Have some yes/no questions. See you later.
Yeah, bye-bye.